match this, you know. Check. Today is the biggest Women's Premier League non-finals match of the round there has ever been in the 3-year history of this great competition. With 3 teams separated by a point at the top of the table, the Premiership will be decided by the games against each other. That is exactly what we have here today. Kellyville Colts are on 44 points, Quakers Hill Juniors on 45, Holroyd also on 45. With Holroyd facing bottom of the table Ponds FC, it leaves Colts and Juniors to face off today in what could be a game for the ages. The motivation must be at an all-time high if you're a Quakers junior player. It's a squad that finished second last year before bailing out of the finals series in the semis. Wasn't an end to the season they probably would have felt like they deserved. New signings have come in. They're a better team according to my eye test. And against a Colts and Holroyd outfit who have both won a Premiership and Championship double winning campaign, the Juniors do not want to become the baby sister of the 3. The Colts, on the other hand, 1 loss all season, and could you guess who it was against? Their fatal flaw, and the reason they sit 1 point short of their rivals at the moment, is because they haven't actually beaten a top 4 team this year. A scoreless draw with Marion was followed by a 2-2 draw with Holroyd, but their one and only loss this season was to, of course, today's opposition, Quakers Hill Juniors. Against teams not in the top 4, Kellyville Colts have played 14 and won 14. If they want to make their mark in this 3-way charge for the title, today has got to be the day that they flip their momentum around. 2 young teams brewing with MPL experience, 2 sets of players who decided to ditch the rep world and play in this budding young competition known as the WPL. A lot of these players with their footballing roots are firmly tied to their own clubs. Let's see who comes out on top. Both these clubs will play league leaders Holroyd for a second time later in this season as we head towards the pointy end. Quakers will play them immediately next week. Colts have them last to close out the league season. That will most likely be irrelevant for one club if they lose today. A draw would actually be the neutral's favourite result. My name is Mark DePoli. Welcome to Quakers Park, home of the juniors. This is a ground where we've had fantastic match of the round occasions. Thank you so much for joining us here on GDSFA TV on YouTube. Be sure to leave a like on the stream. And let's go through the lineups of both of these two teams now. For Quakers, Hill Juniors searching for their first bit of silverware as a WPL entity. It's Ella Wilson, by far and away this district's men or women's most prolific goalkeeper. 7 assists this year, all from kicks out of her hand. At right back, it's the person who has only got one match of the round goal to her name. It was at this ground, on the ground/field behind us, and it turned out to be a Blacktown Goal of the Week winner. It's Jenna Howe, 19 years old, in the number 10 jersey. Michaela Cleesby has 3 to her name this season at 22 years old. The All-Star representative for the Blacktown All-Stars, of course, is into her 11th year into her second year of representing the club. 11 years spent at Mount Druitt Town Rangers. A lot of these players have spent heaps of time out at that great club, local club, of course. Leah Outscorn is into her 10th year representing, and this Tia Berg rounds out the defence, sitting at left back. Tara Schroeder makes up one of 2 Schroeder sisters to be in the team. Danielle Freeman is ahead of her in the 6th jersey. Jamie Cumbo has scored in 2 separate occasions against the Colts back in 2023, and in this fixture in a match of the round in 2024. The front 3 of Sophia Grech and Izzy Grech, and the other sister, Marion Schroeder, is quite frightening to see. For the Colts, Maddie Rapisardi starts in goal. She's the first goalkeeper for the Colts who've actually held down the position all season, brought in specifically for this reason. Natalie Rogic, as well as Brooke Nestorovic, Bronte Parker, Steph Romeo, and of course Caitlin Thatcher will round out the rest of the defence. At the base of the midfield, it's a very, very, very high-scoring midfield that will include Emma Vanetambi, as well as Krista Hagen, who scored 2 goals against Holroyd earlier in the season. And the final of the 3 midfielders is Harmony Wolford, who scored 3 in her last 3, her only 3 appearances, has rounded out with 3 goals in all of them. A signing from Hills United, along with her slightly younger sister, just at the end of the June transfer window. The front 3 reads Nicole Carmichael, who, according to herself, has picked up 47 assists this season, to go along with her some 16 goals as well. Georgia Hogan started as the goalkeeper, just won that header there, by the way. Georgia Hogan started as the goalkeeper in this fixture last year, played the first 45 minutes of the match. And the final of the 3 is a person who's very new to the club in Kevin Oppia. In fact, she might actually start off the bench, Kevin Oppia, as I take a look down to my right-hand side. So those are the 2 lineups. Thanks again so much for joining us here in what is a game that could very well decide who wins the premiership this year. Will it go green? Will it go Kellyville red today wearing white? Or will it in fact go to the team not playing here today in Holroyd, who are of course currently top by a goal difference of nearly 20. Even on points are Holroyd and Quakers Hill Juniors. Colts just 1 below them after 3 fantastic individual campaigns. Holroyd haven't lost 1. Juniors here have lost 2 but haven't drawn any in that time. Have actually won more games than the team sitting above them on goal difference, which is an incredible stat. It is so, so tight. Out wide. That touch takes Leah Outscorn, who with her weaker left foot just sends it up the line. Nearly hits the VO of Colts and out for a throw-in. It is in fact, by the way, for those of you who are joining for the first time, perhaps not too familiar with these 2 teams, Kellyville playing away, of course, usually predominantly in a red and black jersey. Today wearing their away white strip. They'll be running from right to left across your screen. The home side, Quakers Hill Juniors, a historic Blacktown-based club, running from left to right in that green jersey. First time pass by Georgia Hogan towards the back stick. It was Nicole Carmichael who's picked up a mountain of goals this season, particularly in the match of the round. She picked up a match of the round hat-trick against Rouse Hill. They went 2-0 down that day at the home of Rouse Hill Rams before scoring 4 unanswered goals that all came in the first half, by the way. Here is the reigning BDSFA Women's Player of the Year, Izzy Grech, who it looks like, by the way, her older sister isn't actually in the starting 11 here this afternoon. And the first major defensive contribution by Caitlin Thatcher in the number 11 jersey as she held up Alison Lindeberg, who I think is the starting replacement for the club's 3rd top goal scorer in Sophia Grech, who isn't here for some reason. Yet to see why. Might she make an appearance later on in the game, but as I have a look around, can't see her anywhere. That's an unfortunate loss. Avid fans might remember that Quakers Juniors went down to Blacktown rivals Marion because they were missing both of the Schroeder sisters. They have combined for 30 goals. Marion, the striker's got 24. Older sister Tara has 6. Both very healthy goal tellers, especially the former. 2-woman wall in the place of Michaela Cleesby, who will deliver this in towards the back stick. Very well floats a ball. That was begging for an attacker to run onto it. Absolutely precise pinpoint delivery from Michaela Cleesby there. And it didn't get the ending it deserved. Technically the best chance of the game, even though no shot directly came from it. Danielle Freeman should recycle this. Back she goes to Leah Outscorn. Runs linearly across the pitch, and here is Jenna Howell, who's been in and out of the senior Women's Premier League team, of course still eligible for Quakers Juniors Younger 21s team, which has been a development path for some of their younger ones, as a lot of them have come off the bench later in Women's Premier League games. Jenna Howe is probably the ultimate success story from that. Was playing WPL football 3 years ago as a 15, 16-year-old, now 19, and is, what I've been told, a very sturdy right back. Izzy Grek probably could have gone down there, pulls it across the face of goal. Big chance here for juniors. Jamie Cumbo tripped over the ball. Danger not cleared, and now Romeo steps in. Very, very well stepped in there by Steph Romeo. And despite the fact she's illegally wearing number 10 as a defender, which just hurts my footballing brain, that's a real good contribution by her there. And she'll take this throw in too and send it long and up the line towards Nicole Carmichael. Arguably the best signing of the season in the WPL is now making a diagonal run across the pitch. There was a handball involved in the process there, but Nicole Carmichael, I think, was fouled in the process. So we'll bring it back. So it looks like there's been a late change. So the late change I'll confirm to you is that number 37, Eleanor Cadafici, has come on, recently playing in the youth ranks at the Blacktown Spartans, so another local representative club, in place of Kevin Opera. I wonder why that is. As the header was flicked on, it was well won. Never looked like going on target. Easy for Ella Wilson to just leave it here for Cleesby, who will run it out of defence and now boot it out of defence. This should be heading towards Izzy Grek, who has scored 8 goals in her last 2 games to launch herself into Blacktown Golden Boot contention. Sends it square across the face to Alison Lindeberg. Picked up her first match of the round goal contribution with an assist at Blacktown Football Park some 3 months ago now. This goes all the way back to Rapisardi in goal. Sends it out wide, the 28-year-olds, and picked up here by Romeo, who gets it under control so well. The reason is she does wear number 10, by the way, because she's usually capable through the spine, particularly through midfield, but is today preferred due to a couple of injuries and suspensions and players being away in defence. So, and particularly the name to mention is the younger of the 2 Hogan sisters, who unfortunately has had sustained a knee injury. Sustained very recently, actually, as Nicole Carmichael is bearing down on goal. This will be a really good tussle to watch all game. I think it's Leah Outscorn of Quakers who's ended up coming off the best from that. It will be a goal kick. Carmichael's touch ended up being too heavy, but look at how good that contest was in full flight. Those 2 are rapid players, and now it's being called back for a corner. So Leah Outscorn, the 20-year-old, did get the final touch. This is a big chance for Kolts here, who have been prolific from corners throughout their entire time playing in the WPL. Late runner in Thatcher coming in at the back stick. Should have been cleared away the first time of asking. It was missed and then struck on the volley, and it looked like it might have been angling down, but ended up rising over. Another significant chance in the game goes begging. 1 each, really. Best chance of the game probably still for those in green, as Cleesby sends it flat. One back here by Kolts, who are starting to strut their stuff a little bit on this brand new bit of Quakers Hill Park grass, which is easy to pass the ball on, it seems, right in the middle of the pitch. Cleesby steps in again. We'll have to boot this one infield, and that she does. Here is Isabel Grek, just recently turned 19 years old, the reigning player of the year, which she won as a 17 and 18-year-old. Another one who's recently played at Spartans, has first-grade Spartans goals to her name when they were an NPL1 club, which is just fantastic to have such quality in this league. Throw in Thomas Roos-Davis, the referee says, is for the Kolts, the visitors, who've had the better of the possession and territory so far. Lovely cut inside, I believe, by Cadafici. In fact, it was in fact Harmony Wolford. Lovely touch inside by someone you wouldn't necessarily expect to have such footwork in Leah Outscorn, the centre-back of Quakers, picked up there well by Kolts. This will drop back here to Emma Benetambi. Hogan went for the first time pull back across the body there. Difficult technique, but she scored in this fixture last year after coming out of the nets in the second half. Oh, and a silly giveaway by Outscorn. And then struck towards goal. Cleesby will block it off, but there was a foul by Outscorn in the process on young Katafichi. So a significant moment in the match could be in the works. And there is a four-woman wall and Ella Wilson in Quakers Junior's goal to beat here, but the sun in the eyes of Nicole Carmichael, a jumping wall trying to put the prolific bagsman off. A hat-trick already in the match of the round this season. She goes over the wall, but it goes over the bar too. And while the chances rack up, the score sheet still blank. Jenna Howe called into action here. Goes back to Cleesby, who gave her the ball initially and sent forward as Quakers Juniors just trying to get any sort of footing into this one. Struggling at the moment. It's been a Route 1 football as they try and get a grasp at it. Here's Ella Wilson, and that's why she's picked up a couple of assists this year. That will bounce over Thatcher there. Grech gets involved now. Battered injured by 1-2. The flag's been raised by the AR. It will be a free kick. Well won there by Grech. Co-coaching team of Bob Harold and the 5th most capped Australian Socceroo of all time, Alex Tobin. By the way, not the worst set of minds to have in your backroom staff. Clipped in ball, over one, heading towards Marion Schroeder at the back stick. It's been missed. Jamie Cumbo will track it down alongside her opposite number. And it will just be a Colts goal kick, who have probably had the better of the opening 10 minutes here. So a swap of wings, it seems. Colts living dangerously here, and now they go for the Quakers route and just clear it away in the direction of their best right winger. So, and it will be for Juniors. Can they use that bit of a momentum shift there to click into their gear, which we know is a high pressing, lots of passes kind of game? Kataifchi putting it in behind. Lovely weighted pass. Now bearing down on goal. A real chance here for the Colts. Georgia Hogan running in for the square pass. It looked a little overhit on her left-hand side. Needed to take a touch. Not sure if the call came in that she had more time than she realised. But the best chance of the game goes begging. But it brings about a round of applause from the technical area down below us to the right. I think she should have taken a touch there. She had more time than she realised. Grech cuts back inside. Thatcher's going to have her hands full all day. Lovely. Grech, and off she goes. When she hits full flight, be careful. Coming across the blocker is 18-year-old Nestodovic and hits the deck real hard there. Goes down, stays down. Grech still goes on. Now she puts it into a real dangerous area. Schroeder has 24 goals this season, and Steph Romeo closed her down well. Throw in right by the corner flag. So the only player not back in a defensive position is Harmony Wolford, who's only got 3 caps to her name after a... that's actually going to be offside there if the referee decides to call it, but play on we go as Grech is threatening, and now finally it'll be called. Krista Hagen with the captain's armband on the turn there. Played football, believe it or not, in the US. It was Alabama-based in Maine and DC. She was studying her undergraduate, which is an awesome thing to be able to say out loud here on the live stream, as Marion Schroeder picks up a weak free kick attempt. Cleared away a bit more comprehensively that time. Georgia Hogan goes back this time to Caitlin Thatcher, to her 3rd year at the club for the former Hills United lady. Goes back to Rapisati's being closed down well, and she opts for the first time clearance, which had to be done. Touched by Kevin Opio in the stands. Wasn't her greatest, that's why she's warming up to be able to have a better one when she does come on. Grech turns, perfect touch. Trying to cut through her oppressor, didn't happen that time. Hogan dropping in to get past Howe, brilliant. And off she goes now, putting it in behind. Well read by Cleesby, nearly got a touch in the commentary box here. Brooke Nestodovic was the furthest forward. She's one of I think, if my mind serves me correctly, 4 sets of sisters, 2 each on each side. So we've got the Schroeder sisters, the Hogan sisters, the Grek sisters, the Nestorovich sisters as well. Isn't that something? Oh, and the Wolford sisters. So there you go. That's 5. Colts have 3 sets of sisters in their team. All separated by about 2 or 3 years as well. Isn't that funny? Steph Romeo will deliver this one in. It's got a lot of backspin. Well dealt with there initially by Tara Schroeder. Comes out here to the captain. First year of the club for the former Canberra Croatia representative. Stepping in was Jamie Cumbo, who loves this fixture, as we know. 2 goals across 2 years in 2 separate fixtures in this one so far. Will she make it 3 years in a row? Now Schroeder should be able to win the foot race against most defenders, but Rapisardi was always the favourite coming out from the goals. Well dealt with there by Thatcher, who's made a darting run infield here. Picked up here by Tia Berg. But she's taken off her. And now Nicole Carmichael is the one who's flashing it across the face of goal, but Howell will be able to let this go all the way out. And it seems another chance really goes begging there. Colts just need to level their heads a little bit because they're getting in plenty of good opportunities, and the finish will come if they just show a tiny little bit more composure. They've been the better of the 2 teams here so far. 15 minutes that have absolutely flown by here at Quakers Hill Park. Always funny with these 3 p.m. kickoffs around this time of year because it gets much, much colder and much, much darker the more the game goes on, which creates for real fun highlights packages, by the way. This should be dealt with very dangerously at the back. Romeo, who's dropped into right back, it seems, for the time being. That will not find its way to Carmichael, goes into touch. Well done there by Krista Hagen, but then gave it away with the second touch. And Tia Berg just lumps it from the halfway line all the way out for a Colts goal kick. So they're going to go to the bench. Colts are, in fact. So Eleanor Karievci comes off. And Kevin Opia, safe to say, one of the... Opia, gotcha! Stand corrected. Comes on. Kind soul. And sends away, far away, onto the opposite pitch. Calls for a new ball, granted by the home side. Izzy Grek gets through 2. Looked a little overhit towards Cumbo, and it will end up just as a goal kick. But everything coming through the diminutive number 3. So Colts, arguably, now, with the full strength team they have available here today in round 18. Now that Opia is on, this will come here for her first touch, and it's a good one. Into space, cuts back past Howe. Now gets past her again. 2 dribbles completed already. Thatcher sends it forward quickly. Outscorn steps in, haphazard clearance, but it works out well. Howe under pressure, deals with it well. Here is Grek. Square passes, they make triangles here with Lindeberg. Sends it in behind. It's a foot race, which Rapisardi should win again, which she does. The ball goes high into the halfway line. Opia under control. Was she batted into illegally there? She was. Up to her feet, up against Lindeberg. I really, really do feel like Colts, the team coming closest to opening the scoring here. The writing is on the wall. Something needs to change pretty quickly here if you're a Quakers Hill Junior fan. Brooke Nestorovich standing over it. 5th season at the club after a healthy stint in the NPL world as that first time strike comes in towards the back stick. A shot that became a cross of sorts. Just out for a simple goal kick. Outscorn to Tia Berg. Once or twice now, Nicole Carmichael has taken off the Quakers Juniors left back with consummate ease. Needs to shore up and stop allowing that to happen. Does Tia Berg. Look at this four-woman press. Opia straight in. This will come to Howe. How will they close Howe down? Lindeberg being closed down now herself. Lindeberg fortuitously gets it back, and fortuitously again past Thatcher. But well read there by Krista Hagen, and now lumped forward. Cleesby is there, sent forward by Georgia Hogan. And now this might work out well. Opia, who's just come off the bench, will strike a goal into the very safe hands of Ella Wilson. Hints of offside. And already, Jacek Lisowski, the coach of Quakers, has received a yellow card. Well, he's arguing, saying, am I not allowed to be loud? Obviously, he's appealing one or two things a little bit too verbosely. One of the funnier characters that feature on in this entire competition, as Ella Wilson sends it away. Back in play now, bounces over Harmony Wolford. In fact, it was Venetambi, forgive me. Tries to send that in behind. This goes in the direction of Schroeder, who is quicker than Romeo, but Romeo got the pivotal touch she needed to keep this defensive play alive. Cumbo picks it up, and then Steph just sends it forward way more comprehensively. This could read danger for Quakers juniors. Dilly-dallying a little bit on the ball, but Outscorn's done well in the end. That was Bronte Parker in that 16 jersey, just sitting it across. Opia, he picks it up against Howe now. Past Howe with pure pace. Past her again with some great dribbling, now into the box. Opia, brilliant. There is Georgia Hogan onto her right foot and into the back of the net with a thunderous finish. This is a ground where she is so prolific, a competition where she is so prolific, and on the live table, they leapfrog their opponents. And it's been coming, no doubt. Another goal for Georgia Hogan. It's her 11th of the season for the number 13. And it's another one against this Quakers Hill Juniors team. And she has arguably been the most threatening player out there, certainly in white. And Kevin Opia's third match of the round assist already this season has led to Georgia Hogan's opening goal. And a goal that is thoroughly deserved, as that one sent off kick-off into the car park almost. Quakers looking stunned at the moment. Lovely, lovely football. I can barely tell you who the midfield right now of Quakers Juniors is. There's a defensive line, there's an attacking line, but that midfield is being bypassed. Need to see Cumbo, Danielle Freeman, and Alison Lindeberg, and Tara Schroeder as well on the ball a little bit more. Marion hasn't had a ball to her feet just yet. Kevin Opia has an assist already to her name. Stepped in well. Did Maddie Phillips, who's just come on as well. A reminder to those watching, it is a interchange game, not a substitute game, the WPL competition. Lovely turn there by Krista Hagen to just take her away from danger and then just set it back for her defender to have some more time. Carmichael setting it in behind. Chance again for Colts. Opia bearing down on goal herself now. Has an assist. Wants a goal. Finds the side netting. Goal kick. Quakers juniors are on the verge of letting this game get out of hand. Something needs to change rather quite quickly. They've got Holroyd next week, but if they want to take the premiership off the current league leaders, they're going to have to win this game here too. Oh, straight into the technical area, nearly hit Carlia Harold. Not the kind of person you want to hit, someone who's got nearly 20 years, 2 decades of experience playing and serving at the club behind the scenes and on the pitch. Luckily, no one was hurt. Jenna Howe sends that throw in towards Maddie Phillips. Inside here, number 4 finds number 3. That might work out quite well for Izzy Grek. On comes Izzy Grek, who's got 8 goals in her last 2 games. She's in real red hot form. Izzy Grek sends it over the crossbar. If it's going to come from anybody with a moment of magic, it's going to come from the reigning player of the year. Corner not from that side, from the other side it will be, so Tara Schroeder will get on the end of this one, which She's like on the start of this one, which I'm surprised by because she's one of the taller players on the pitch, not just for Quakers juniors, but probably in the entire competition, is Tara Schroeder. Spent 2 years in this WPL system, unlike her sister who spent 3, and awaiting her first match of the round goal. Tara Schroeder, good ball in. Rapisadi palms it upwards, claims the second ball. Good goalkeeping. Urge to just take her time, urge not to listen. Opia under control, a little fortunate to keep it back to Hagen. This will come back to Opia. Now takes a touch towards goal. Will pick it back up for a third time. Goes down, free kick, clearly well read. That challenge. So Brooke Nestorovic standing over it. Slightly older sister, not here today. Not sure why. Not on the squad list or the team sheet. And just the younger of the two girls featuring in. She dinks that free kick towards the back stick. If that holds up, it could be deemed a good ball. In the end, it's an okay ball. It was slightly overhit. All smiles. Brooke Nestorovic, the number 12. Let's see what juniors are going to do here. Same thing from right centre back to right back. This time they go infield though towards Tara Schroeder, living a little dangerously herself. Harmony Wolford was closing her down. Danielle Freeman just plays it square. Howe sends it towards Greg. That's much better by Quakers juniors. Through the legs of Thatcher. They're calling for a free kick. They'll get it too. So, no doubt, 22-year-old Michaela Cleesby will come over and take this. She's spent more than half a decade under coach Jacek Lisowski through the Mount Druitt Town Rangers and now the Quakers Hill Juniors system from rep to park. So he knows what she's capable of, but that's not her greatest free kick, but it comes here to Izzy Grek. Still Izzy Grek. Now cuts out wide, now cuts back inside. Izzy Grek, one's never really enough to close her down. The shots, though, straight into the palms of a grateful goalkeeper. Sun in the eyes of the goalkeeper in this first half, going to be tough. That's gone well clear of the halfway line. Oh, lovely touch out wide by Opia and picked up here by Nicole Carmichael, who took the competition by storm when she, in her first 5 rounds or so, picked up a goal in pretty much every single game. Big chance here if Schroeder can get this ball under control. But Romeo stepped in really well. Dealt with well by Bronte Parker, who goes back out wide to Romeo. Took a little bobble off a green jersey, so it will be a throw for the Kellyville in white. Romeo. Big chance here. Wolford coming forward. 3 in her last 3. Sent in by Carmichael. Have to shield it, have to shield it. Well, shielded in the end by Cleesby. Opia was threatening again. Tough to put your head towards a ball like that on a Sunday afternoon, but someone's got to do it. Just past Greg there. Good touch it was by Vanatambi, who last year was known as Emma Clark. Now she's Emma Vanatambi after getting married in October last year. Congratulations to her and her partner. Celebrating love in the WPL match of the round. Sent forward by Steph Romeo. Lovely pass in the direction there of Wolford. Foot race here. Marion Schroeder's got there first! And Quakers juniors have a goal back from absolutely nothing. A quarter of a century of goals for the 2-time reigning Blacktown Golden Boot winner, Marion Schroeder. 25 goals for the WPL season. A firm second place in the Golden Boot race in the overall competition. But once again, she picks up another goal. Lightning fast at full speed. And she somehow stuck out a boot that got there ahead of Kellyville. And parity is restored when their backs were against the wall. 1-1 tied we are in a game that promises goals every single time. Two massively well-known goal scorers have picked up two massive goals in the context of this game and this season. Georgia Hogan, a regular. Marion Schroeder, even more so. Two familiar names in the match of the round. Who will be next? Absolutely no doubt there'll be another goal on this one, or two, or three. Thatcher, stolen by Grech, and now it's a foot race again, but that one had a little bit too much inside curl for Schroeder, and Romeo cleans it up and just pummels it forward. And now forward comes Harmony Wolford. And Tia Burke had far more time than I think she realised there to deal with that, because Harmony had tripped over, and now they have to defend a throw-in right from the corner flag. The throw-in comes into the box, missed initially by Outscorn. Opia got there first. Schroeder swung out a wild left leg, played square back towards Opia. Thatcher is there. Kolts just urged to retain possession. Now it's dinked in by Nestodovic. And it's been claimed rather quite easily in the end by Ella Wilson. Now she's going to wait for her attackers to get right to the edge of the halfway line and then punt this forward. She's battling against the wind in this first half though. It's hit Nestodovic in the head there, but she's emerged with a smile, so she's all good. Thatcher needs to get this under control now as she faces her own goal. Send it back towards Rapisardi, being closed down. Good clearance, Rapisardi. Controlled by Phillips, then by Schroeder. Back to the number 4. Thatcher did well with the sun in her eyes there. It'll be a throw-in for the juniors. And there's a concern here, by the way, for Georgia Hogan, Colts goal scorer for today, who's gone off and is already receiving some physio treatment. Something to do with the right leg. She's been replaced by, I believe, to be Sarah Vall. That ball's put in. Berg is real quick in trying to retain this attack. But now she's out of position, the left back. It's a 3v3. That was probably the wrong option out wide, and Carmichael was being closed down. Val was there straight off the bench into the action. Cleesby being closed down by Opia. Opia's done so well, the most effective presser in this game by far. Val needs to adjust to the speed of the game quickly. Back she goes to the left back, Thatcher. Brilliant by Hagen. Sends it out wide to Opia. Lovely touch inside. Well stepped in, Phillips. Both back to their feet. Gret keeps it alive, but this time for juniors. She can usually get through too, but she's just been forced to clear it long so far in the hopeful direction of her number 14, her striker. Well dealt with there by Bronte Parker, out wide to Steph Romeo in a game that's been so open-ended, but this time Romeo's ball diagonally across into the middle of the pitch has been read, and now Quakers juniors emerge with it. Freeman taken off her. Back by Vanatambi. Over the head of Wolford there, cleared away Cleesby. Nice touch by Cumbo. But it just seems that Quakers juniors' best avenue going forward is a bit of a hopeful lump in the direction of one of their two very, very quick attackers, and as someone who's watched them enough to feel like I can give valid criticism of them, I feel like they have better avenues than just hopeful through balls. Under control after the midriff of Outscorn. Threatening offside there was Schroeder. On we go, Bronte Parker. Lovely touch there by Vanatambi. Lovely triangles being formed in Colts. Schroeder taken off her. Tara Schroeder, that is. Then she barrels into an opposition player. Krista Hagen. That ball's taken out wide. Dealing with two is Jenna Howe, who's gone down in a twisting heap. Still goes Val. Schroeder stepped in. Hagen taken off her. That's the first time I can remember her losing the ball all game. Izzy Grech asking for the tug on the jersey. Never really see her get frustrated, Izzy Grech, and now she's saying, are you watching? And please be aware of this next time, she's saying. And she's still arguing it, so she knows that it's happening, so she's getting frustrated by it. Never ever see that kid lose her head. So for her to appeal for something for at least 5 seconds means it's probably warranted. Let's see what the Quakers juniors can summon here. Howe tries to find Grech. She's probably got a bit between her teeth now. Goes in strong in that challenge, but Colts pick it up. Hagen. Thatcher. Thatcher's had a real decent game up against a tough and tricky winger. First third of this game has absolutely flown on by. 1-1 it is. Just over 11 minutes left to go in this first half. I would imagine no real significant added time will be necessary. But a first half I'd probably have to give to the Kellyville, or first third I'd have to give to the Kellyville Colts. Well done there by Sarah Val. Freeman trying to be nice and strong in the challenges. Danielle Freeman, formerly of Interlines and Mount Druitt Town Rangers, another one who spent so much time in Mount Druitt Town Rangers colours. A lot of these Quakers Juniors girls who now wear green wore yellow and green for the majority of their youth upbringing. Freeman, one of them. Cleesby, one of them. Berg, one of them. Cumbo, one of them. On comes Lourdes Molina, 20-year-old, number 11, who joined this season from Rouse Hill Rams. Schroeder thought about leaving one in on Nestodovic there, but the 24-year-old decided not to, who's now got more goals than she is years spent on the planet. Isn't that an amazing stat? Two-time reigning Golden Boot winner, one-time Player of the Year back in 2023. Berg and Carmichael. Berg's got a number there. Bless you. Though in taken quickly. Twisting, turning, lovely work. Onto the left, laid off for Hagen. Taken off her by Izzy Grek, who's come central now and dropped into midfield. And now she'll facilitate. Lourdes Molina has a chance. 3 goals this season. Can she cut it back? Looking for Marion Schroeder. Didn't quite adjust to the speed of the game just yet. Tough off the bench in the cold of a winter Sunday. Colts survive a little scare there, but look what happens when Izzy Grek gets on the ball. That's why she's arguably the most feared player in the comp. Berg and Carmichael, another great coming together there, but it'll just be a goal kick this time. 36 minutes played, tied 1-1. Chances have dried up a little bit since Quakers Juniors found the one that restored it to 1-1. Oh, Cleesby read Opia's body positioning well there. Freeman, that's really nice footwork by her, but then a little too much. But Grek steps in and cuts in between herself and 2 players. Molina has fresh legs. Schroeder is right there for the layoff. That's the second time in a matter of minutes. Hagen in strong. Lays it off to Romeo, being closed down by Schroeder. Strong in the control of that ball by Jamie Cumbo, who has spent this year 20 years at the club. 2-decade servant of Quakers Hill Juniors. Only time she wasn't at this club was under Jacek Lisowski at Mount Druitt Town Rangers. Believe it or not, sound like a broken record. Phillips goes down, hands up in the air, urging the referee to blow the whistle, but it's been a very well contested game. Very little reasons to break it up with the use of the whistle. 38 minutes played. Cambo launches it forward, but Thatcher wins it out of the sky, while also listening to her coach, who was barking orders from the sideline. Oh, one back off the defender. Schroeder has another chance on the cusp of halftime to put them in front, and it's gone in off the post. Goal 25 and now goal 26. From going behind and losing their second place on the live ladder, now they're right back on the heels of Holroyd. They take back their second place spot thanks to Marion Schroeder's first half brace. This is what she's done all season. She almost averages 2 goals a game. She is inevitable in these massive match of the rounds. Schroeder has 2. And juniors have the ascendancy. It's the second game in a row. Kellyville have conceded 2 goals to the Quakers Hill Juniors. In the first season, Quakers Hill Juniors beat them 5-0 and 7-0. Last season, they beat them and drew with them in that match of the round. It was a 5-3 before that 2-2 draw here in this. It was basically this fixture this time last year. But this season, it's been Quakers juniors who have had their number. A 2-0 win, and now here in this first half, up 2-1. How will they respond? Carmichael, she's come central here. Outscored, so well done. But then did too much, and then won it back. Now finds Greg, who has space to pick the right option because Schroeder's running in behind again. She's onside. Schroeder on a hat trick, cuts back. No chance of a penalty there. They can appeal all they like. No chance at all. I think Lords actually would have been the right option because it forced Marion Schroeder to run away from her central position. Pass should have come to Lords. Marion should have stayed central. They would have had the easiest cutback, and Schroeder would have had a hat-trick inside 40 minutes, but a hat-trick scored inside about 15. That's a significant chance, and it goes begging. Well, considering that they looked second-rate for the first 20 minutes or so in this game, isn't it amazing how quickly things can change? Cumbo, good ball in on the penalty spot. Grek, it will fall to her left foot. Cleared away, I think, by Wolford. In fact, it might have been Manatambi. Phillips has been good coming off the bench, but she gave it away, then won it back. Now goes back to Outscorn. Here comes Opia pressuring her. Opia still threatening all the way back to Ella Wilson. That might go out for a corner, but Opia decided not to press this one, so Wilson has time. Goalkeeper out of position. Bronte Parker stepped in. Freeman is there, in behind. Schroeder's running. Romeo was quicker though. Rapasadi read it well. Bouncing right on the halfway line, but again, like I said, for the first 20 minutes, it seemed everything was falling Colts' way, but the juniors have just got an extra yard of pace in most challenges now. And it's up on the Colts to respond. Haven't actually beaten a top 4 team this year. 3 games against the top 4, 2 draws and a loss. Chance here though, across the face of goal, Opia! Oh! A miss from a millimetre inside the 6-yard box, but a incredibly difficult opportunity to steer into the back of the net, in all fairness to the 15-goal striker. Actually developed predominantly as a Blacktown-based player before shifting across to Winston Hills and then now to Kellyville Colts. Thatcher's done really well, but Greg positioned herself better. Oh, just so good to watch. But Thatcher's recovered exceptionally well. This has been a really great battle between Thatcher and Greg. Molina closing down Nestodovic, who puts it into touch for a throw-in. 43 minutes played in a game that has given us everything that we've wanted. We've had goals, we've had momentum shifts. It has been so much fun to watch. Molina loses it. Well done there by Val. Steered towards the penalty spot. Cleared by Romeo. Cleared by Hagen. Picked up Carmichael. Launches it into the back there of Jamie Cumbo. Under control by Phillips. Outscorn. 10th year at the club for Leah Outscorn. Never played at any other club. Only been playing football for 10 years, so she missed the whole Mini Rouge development program, which is such a amazing little story there that she's been able to develop as quickly as she has in just 10 years of playing football. And the trajectory that she's continued to grow as a WPLer, if you like, in the last 3 years of this competition existing, has been something to behold. She is one of a very small number of changes in the first grade team that started in year number 1, still in the squad, Leah Outscorn. And for all the MPL experience that's come on in, it's her and her 10 strong years as a Quakers junior still holding down the middle of that defence. And that is what this competition is really all about. I think Kolts need to get Georgia Hogan back on this pitch right now. She's having a chat with her sister Bianca, who's the one that has the knee injury, by the way. They can't afford to concede another goal here with just seconds left to go in this first half due to Kellyville Kolts. Nestodovic up the line. Cleared away Cleesby, who's got so much time. Kevin Opia's leading a one-woman press. Back to Ella Wilson, who's not got any real options to play, so she might just be forced to clear it, which she does. Facing into the sun are all these players now. Into touch, it'll be Quakers Juniors. Greg missed the header. That's really, really strong work by Emma Manatambi. Former Spartans Spirit, although they were called Koalas at the time when she played there, and also Nepean representative is Emma Manatambi. A lot of players who played in this fixture last year, this match of the round that finished 2-2 at the back end of 2024, who are no longer playing here. Steph Padilla, not on the team sheet these days. She was very, very key in that game. You might remember. As Val steps in here, plays it square towards Nestodovic. She's come forward out of defence and shoots a goal! And creeps it underneath Ella Wilson. And 7 seconds past the 45-minute mark, and what could be the final contribution in this first half. The 18-year-old has come up with a huge goal again, and we're tied. 4 goals in this first half, split 2-2. Nestodovic has a goal, and it came because she decided she'd had enough of just sitting in the defence, and she hit it with real ferocity. Bang! And her 4th goal of the season is by far and away the most important one of Kolts so far. And now Kolts have a spring in their step, added on time, whistle to the lips of the referee, that'll be it. Realistically, the last kick of the first half is one that again restored parity. What an incredible first 45 it's been. Brooke comes across and receives plenty of hugs as Kolts know they've been helped back into this game through some individual brilliance. What a goal it was by Nestodovic as these two teams head to the sheds. 2-2 it is, 2 goals for Schroeder, 1 goal for Georgia Hogan, and 1 goal just then for Nestodovic. Come back in about 15 minutes or so, but the question is, will the Kolts continue on their momentum after that goal, or will the Quakers Juniors be annoyed enough by that to come out of the second half blocks firing? See you soon. So do I, actually. Ready? Ready. Are you going on? Wait off. That's all right. Sorry, that's it. You're good. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the cameras pan back to the centre of this pitch. Standing over the ball right now, the reigning BDSFA Women's Player of the Year, Izzy Grech, who's been key in helping this Quakers team battle back from a 1-goal disadvantage, bring it to 1-1, then to 2-1, and then Kolts on the literal stroke of half-time. Thanks to Brooke Nestodovic, found themselves back in front. I should say back. With the game tied in hand 2-2. No yellow cards distributed to any of the players. It's only Jacek Lisowski, the coach of Quakers Juniors Women's Premier League side, who has a yellow to his name. That's Kadaivci, who's come back on the pitch, it seems, in the 37 jersey. Opia is right there with an option to her left. Opia cuts back past Howe, then sends it out wide. Lovely touch of the football! And a chance that has been missed. Wonderful work by Kevi Opia. And the finish, unfortunately, left a little to be desired. But straight away, Kolts have come out of the blocks firing. Or I should say, perhaps the Kolts out of the stables firing. Tia Berg, a strong runner of the football, meets Romeo, a strong tackler. Must have been a great little last 5 seconds between those two. That's what this wonderful game's all about. 1v1 contests. 2-2. And by the way, so news from around the ground, Pons have forfeited against Holroyd, meaning that Holroyd have already won their match by 3-0 due to the regulations. So Pons forfeit. Holroyd increased their goal difference by, some might say, just a lowly 3 goals on a day where they could have put much more than that. But Holroyd, most importantly, have picked up 3 points. So the onus is on one of these two teams to find 3 points here. And the chance is forming here to Lords Molina. And that goes out for the first corner of this second half. And it's Quakers Juniors who survived the early scare. And now it's Quakers Juniors who have a chance to deliver another threatening set piece in. It'll be Tara Schroeder off her left peg. Look at the amount of cars in the background, by the way. This is a very, very well-attended game. A lot of them sitting behind the sun that you can't see in frame, by the way. Huge amount of support for both teams here. These two teams actually not that far away from each other as the crow flies. Tara Schroeder has to compete, by the way, with a small little incline behind her. Look at the wind on the flag next to her, too. So this ball is going to go deep, and it's going to curl towards the goalkeeper. Hopefully she can factor that into that. Well, the ball's gone deep and towards the goalkeeper, and nearly an Olympico, which isn't too much of a rarity in these WPL games because there are such players of high technical quality to deliver that kind of curling in ball, but that one, I think, was a mishit cross. I know that Dee King from Holroyd will be watching this one, has 5 Olympicos during her 3 years as a WPL player. Shout out to you, I'm sure you're watching right now. Opia, a chance as it falls kindly for her. Outscorn trying to play catch-up. Cuts back Opia. 2-footed, very ambidextrous footballer. Outscorn scythed her down. Free kick given. And Krista Hagen's come off, by the way. Looks like she's reapplying some strapping, the number 20, but reports came in that she wasn't feeling too good. Are you feeling okay? She'll be back on, it seems. Not sure if you viewers can hear too much from the surround sound, but best way to find out how their condition is to ask her. So Opia standing with the sun in the goalkeeper of Ella Wilson's eyes and a three-woman wall. A free kick from 25 yards out. It'll have to be a goal of the season contender. It's Opia who goes over the wall and hits the back fence. The Colts are already down on troops with injuries heading into this game and some players who are venturing to the European summer. But they're also dealing with some in-game injuries too. Wolford, I believe, sends that ball curling in towards Opia. Lovely pass. Wilson came out and met it. Danger still on here. Juniors need to get some numbers back. It's Georgia Hogan who's just come back on. And she gets that pass. Well, what looked like now a pass. It was an attempt at a shot. That's gone out for a throw-in. So now Quakers juniors have to work their way out of this one with the sun in their eyes predominantly. And I promise you, as the game goes on and we head towards 5 p.m, it gets tougher and tougher because that sun sits lower. And it's about, I would say, 10 minutes from going away from those trees. But until then, tough on the home side. And you might think that that's just fugazi, but it's not. I have played a football match here before, and I have not so fond memories of experiencing just that. Phillips, for juniors. Karievchi was there involved. It will be a throw-in for the Colts, who can now press the pressure button. Throw-in taken long by Nicole Carmichael. Finds her strike buddy, Kevin Opia. Sliding in on Phillips, picked up by Berg, sends it out for a throw-in right by the corner flag. Carmichael has to go the length of almost 2 pitches to go and find this dead ball. Throw-in taken long. Didn't come to Opia because Tara Schroeder was there. That throw in by the corner flag now becomes a corner kick. Colts yet to bring on Natalie Rogic, by the way, 22-year-old with 6 goals to her name this season. Formerly of Bankstown City Lions. She hasn't come off the pitch just yet. Or onto the pitch, I should say, towards the back stick and up. Came that ball and down it fell, and almost a calamitous mistake at the back. And I think a little fortuitously, Ella Wilson survived unscathed. But a bit of a nothing shot sent right up into the air. And aside from that Quakers Juniors corner early into the second half, it's been Colts. Although here is Lords Molina. Not really yet to see Izzy Grech on the ball just yet, aside from her kickoff. 7 minutes already played in the second half. Ooh. A little bit too brave there by Bronte Parker. Lords Molina. Well recovered there, though, by the Colts. Nestodovic got a spring in her step after her belter of a goal on the cusp of half-time. On the live ladder, it's rescued a point for the visitors. So, on comes again Krista Hagen. Picked up a brace against Holroyd, so she's a big game player, no doubt. Has been pretty key here this afternoon, but dealing with what looks like an injury picked up in the middle of the game. She looked pretty fine for the first 20 or so minutes of the game and then started to struggle a little bit. So I wonder if something didn't quite come out right from a 50-50 or something along those lines. But Sarah Val comes off after a healthy 20 minutes or so between the first half and now this, and sent away by Raspiati. Straight to Hagen, back into the swing of things. We've got a Hogan and a Hagen back on the pitch now. Ooh, batted into with Steph Romeo by Schroeder. Everyone kind of stopped for a second while Maddie Phillips went down. Lovely work there by Lords Molina. Freeman. Lovely touch. Grech fouled. Not the first time Izzy Grech's warranted a stoppage in play. They know that they have to keep her quiet. If previous matches wasn't enough to prove that, her performance so far this afternoon certainly is. Cleesby's got the kind of kick, the distance on the kick that can go right onto the penalty spot here. I wonder if she will do that now. She'll opt to go out wide towards Izzy Grech. Still no sign of Sophia Grech, by the way. competing with the touchline is Izzy. Cuts back. Really well dealt with by Caitlin Thatcher. And then in tandem there, I think, actually, Georgia Hogan. Brings a wool from the travelling Kolts crowd. So a corner now for Tara Schroeder to take. The wind the same as it was right in the first minutes of this second half. It'll be pushing it further towards the back stick, the wind. Up comes Michaela Cleesby, a very strong header of the ball. She's now running to the front post. Cleesby's gone over her head. It's been cleared by Kolts. Now, a bit more comprehensively too. Opia and Berg. Opia got there first, so brave. Kadaivci sends it up the line. Chance here. That ball holds up well for Opia. Has outscored to beat. Freeman coming back to defend. Nutmegs Freeman expertly well. Kadaivci puts that one a little bit too weighty. I think Carmichael probably could have got there if she hadn't have given up on it so quickly. Oh, I guess we'll never know. Marian Schroeder just chatting to her coach Jacek Lisowski right now. I wonder what's being said. Just down below, out of the earshot of the camera and out of the view shot of it too. Probably be able to hear it if I shut up. Ella Wilson with as many Colts players in front of her as there are fellow green jerseys. One in the air really well by Hogan. Already got a goal to her name that was provided by this girl here, Opia. Kadaivci was there, cleared away by Berg. Good clearance, Molina picks it up. Now running in behind with Schroeder. Pretty poor touch by Molina's high standards. And now forward comes Steph Romeo, who sends it out wide to Nicole Carmichael. Looking for goal number 17 here this afternoon. Header goes back expertly well towards Wilson. Off of Tara Schroeder. I think that might have come off the lower part of her face. She's gone to clutch the forehead now and says, don't worry about it. Heavy strapping on the right knee too for Tara. Izzy Grek, chance here. Don't let her get to full flight. Caitlin Thatcher doing well to close the angle down. Grek now inside the box, across the face of the box. Spilt initially by Raspiati and then picked up well by an informed goalkeeper. I think the big difference with Colts this year, despite the fact that they won a pretty historic double last year, was that they've had the first choice number 1 from round 1 to now round 18. Raspiati, a designated goalkeeper. Romeo in behind, Kadaivci chasing. Outscorn gets there first, but with the sun in her eye, she shonks the clearance. So now some subs look like they're warming up for the Colts. Rogic, one of them as well. Now, the concern that was raised about 60 seconds ago for Tara Schroeder has unfortunately brought a stoppage to play now. Something didn't quite bounce right for her, and she's feeling the pinch of that now. This will be a rather unfortunate end to her match of the round. She's in a real world of discomfort. I feel like it's one of those ones where you get the header wrong and you just start seeing stars, and that's usually an indication that there could be greater peril if not treated properly. Probably the wise thing at this point to actually bring her off and end her game, just to be absolutely sure. You can never know and never be too sure with head knocks. I wouldn't be surprised if she wants to play on though. But this is up to the coaching staff and Tara herself. It was actually a rather quite perfect header that went back to Ella Wilson defensively. The thing was that she wasn't expecting it, and it caught her off guard. Tara's going to take a second. Not in a good way at the moment. Alison Lindeberg comes on. Another one of the former Madura Town Rangers crop. She's picked up 5 goal contributions for the second season running. Hopefully Tara's okay. I'll give you an update and see how she fares. Quakers Juniors now down on starting players. History tells us that they struggle when Tara Schroeder isn't playing. Chance for Kolts here to put some pressure on. You feel? 60 minutes played. 2/3 ticks on by. Game's just had the sting taken out of it for the moment, it seems, as we look for a ball. Quite flat and quiet out there. Breakage in play, unfortunately, due to the injury concern to Tara Schroeder. Kellyville puts it central towards Georgia Hogan. Didn't really look up at all when she got that ball under control and hit it into the middle of no man's land. Sent away by Ella Wilson. That is a mighty punt out of her hands. Allowed to bounce once. 2/3 of the way down the pitch. Melina was threatening. Bronte Parker stepped in, but Izzy Grek recycled it. Now still Grek needs to get this ball in. Izzy Grek does just that at the backstick. Lindeberg, difficult to get under control. Oh, and she went to side her down there. Could almost be yellow for intent. Nicole Carmichael has a real knack of scoring multiple goals in a game when she gets going. Goes to play facilitator on this occasion, though, all the way back to Ella Wilson, and we're back to where we started. It's going to not be allowed to bounce this time. Colts have learned their lesson inside 30 seconds there. Nicole Carmichael nutmegs her oppressor. Finds Kellyville, who bounces it back to her first time. Carmichael swings it in from the right-hand side. In towards Kevin Opia, who volleys it wide. Lovely, lovely interplay down this near side touchline. And Quakers Junior survive. Opia did so well to get that under control. Pressing as hard as she can straight away off the goal kick too. But look at the way, by the way, for those of you who have been watching for more than 20 minutes or so, look at the way this sun has now started to get behind the trees. I promised you it would. And now this pitch is shrouded in a sort of darkness that hasn't been the case for the last 60 minutes of the game. Carmichael. Oh, lovely touch by Tia Berg. But Romeo comes forward out of right back, fullback on fullback here. Ooh, push and shove. Ooh, a couple of stern words between those two. Carmichael sitting right now in Romeo's spot. Now they switch. The incredible thing about one of the signings of the season, Nicole Carmichael, a hat-trick in the match of the round against Rouse Hill Rams, 4 goals against Kellyville United, 4 goals against Ropes Crossing, and then a brace against both Norwest and Ponds. So pretty much every single one of her goals has come in a game where she's already scored one prior. She scores goals in big clumps. So if she scores one here today, history and fate tells you the bookies' favourites would be that she'd get another one later on in the game too. She's been asked to play more of the provider here today. Of course, the most recently playing in the NPL world, Nicole Carmichael, just a couple of seasons ago. Hagen, deft touch, lovely to find Carmichael. See, that wasn't even a moment where Hagen knew that Nicole Carmichael would be there, or Steph Romeo for that fact. She didn't even need to look up. She just knew, and that's from all the training and all the games, she just knew that she would be there. As Rapasadi does really well there. And Hogan sends it forward. Well won there by Cleesby. Opia, Outscore needs to get there first for Quakers. She does and boots it away. Hits the halfway line flag. Hagen does well. Then Hogan does well. Then Opia, unfortunately, loses out to Cleesby. Then hits Howe on the turn, slid it into by Opia, whose dogged defensive work is rewarded with a throw-in for the Colts. And long goes that throw by Hogan. Please don't hit my car as that goes into the car park. Well cleared by Cleesby. Colts applying some pressure for a sustained period of time. Now Hagen is there. Under hit and pulled a little too short. So Georgia Hogan is about to be taken off I wonder if that will be the last moments of her match, teetering on 70 odd minutes played here. Will there be enough time to get her back on, in the opinion of Bob Harold? Freeman, oh, that's actually exceptional footwork there. A real chance for Quakers Juniors. Perfect ball. What a ball by Freeman. Schroeder on a hat trick. Rapisati did well. Schroeder just needed half an extra yard. That was all. That was all that was in it. And that was all that might have separated these two teams here today. Ball in by Greg, claimed to Rapisati. I'm sure her heartbeat's just gone up 50 or so. Two massive contributions in the span of 30 seconds there. The save and then the claim from the cross. Well done, Rapisati. Opia living very dangerously with that high foot. Actually warrants a yellow card. It's the intent. Georgia Hogan's going to go off. Looks like Natalie Rogic is going to come on for the first time. We'll see if she sees out the game. As mentioned before, 6 goals for her this season. Has played at Kolts in her junior years. Been here for 3 WPL seasons now. Been here for the entire journey. Jamie Cumbo comes back on, who is the daughter of the co-coach and manager Mario Cumbo. 20-year servant of her club. Ball in, looking for Schroeder. It's bounced off Rapisati! And Schroeder picks up a match of the round hat trick. Fox in the box. And the juniors, who surrendered that early goal, then restored it, then went in front, then lost it, have now restored it again. And it's 3 goals for Marion Schroeder. And with 23 or so minutes to go, goal number 27 for the season. For the striker that gets better and better, even though the competition gets harder and tougher year on year. Marion Schroeder takes another leap towards Women's Premier League greatness with a match of the round hat trick. She becomes one of the top 5 outright most frequent goal scorers in live stream Women's Premier League game history. That's now her sixth on camera. She is as potent as she is polite, one of the most kindly spoken players in the entire comp. But geez, she is a fearsome competitor. Offside flag was raised, so Ella Wilson won't be hit with a disadvantage or a penalty against her for that trip over the ball. But here we are with Quakers at home in front. And how will the Colts respond? A reminder, they have Holroyd in the last match of the season. They play Marion as well, a downtrodden and injury-riddled Marion a little bit later on too. But they must at least find a point from here if they want to keep their premiership hopes alive. Here's someone that can find a goal out of nothing. Outscorn heads it back to her keeper, Ella Wilson. Easy claim for her. Unfortunately, it will have to go down as a goalkeeper mistake. And if that's the moment that secures the points for juniors. Some French from some of the young'uns from the Colts. Very fluent. As Molina sends that one out for another throw-in. Romeo will deal with this one as Lindeberg chases her down and forces her to put it into touch. 21 minutes left to go in this pulsating 5-goal match. It's a goal every 20 minutes on average so far. One by Berg, but picked up by Krista Hagen. Opia is quick, but a long way from goal for the left footer. And Outscorn read her well. This has been such a good battle. And now Leah might have hurt herself, though. She's gone off due to injury in a match of the round before. That was due to concussion. They want her to kick it out. They're under no obligation to do so. Quakers can complain all they like. The ball goes out. Not intentionally this time, but from a clearance. And now Concern can switch, and Full Focus can switch on to Outscorn. Outscorn went in for 2 challenges there against 2 different players. Opio and I think it was Nicole Carmichael came across. Outscorn still dead on the ground, so time will be added on in this game. Some conversations happening around the grounds. Obviously, Lindeberg, Cumbo and Outscorn are there. Jacek Lisowski is there too with the referee, but Jenna Howe and Michaela Cleesby having a chat. Izzy Grek and what looks to be Danielle Freeman, I think, are having a chat as well. I don't know what's being discussed out there. Quakers juniors will want to do everything they can to hold on to this 3-2 lead. It's been a really, really hot run of form for them. Outscorn can come back on. Lindeberg's dropped into left back for the time being. Outscorn is clearly not at her fittest right now, but she's been called back into action, I should say. Opia is there. She's found herself free and took a quick, rushed, hurried attempt at goal and sent it wide, unfortunately, for the Colts. 20 minutes now inside, 20 minutes, in fact, to go. Plenty of time for a lot of things to happen. Cleesby receives the ball short from the goal kick and sends that one into space. Grek can't keep it in. Throw in Colts. Throw in to be halted. So here comes Tara Schroeder. She's going to be okay. Lord Molina, an attacker, is replaced by a defensive-minded midfielder. And she receives a wave from a crew of people wearing Minchinbury gear, which I can only guess is the family and close relatives of the Schroeder clan. Of course, both of them used to reside at Minchinbury Jets, one of the Blacktown clubs. Some happy onlookers today will be pleased with this performance and result, I'm sure. Bye-bye, says Jenna Howell, but picked up here by Benatambi. Karaevchi lines one up and sends it out wide. Nicole Carmichael can strike with real venom, and it smacks the crossbar, nearly rips it in half. Ella Wilson hurt her left hand there. Hopefully she's okay. Cumbo now sends it in behind. Colts go from nearly scoring to having to defend. Grek now steers one in behind, and off she goes. And how quick is Nestotovic in recovering? Really, really well done by Brooke Nestotovic. Big call here. Corner is the claim. Goal kick is the result. Now, they couldn't decide, the AR and centre ref. And Quakers never ones to complain about the decisions. Living very dangerously, Schroeder coming in. Well, she's taken full advantage of a goalkeeper mistake no more than 10 minutes ago. Nicole Carmichael rides the challenge of Freeman brilliantly well. Karaevchi, first time reverse ball in behind, but Berg always had the yardage on her tracking marker there in Carmichael. So Eleanor Karaevchi's going to come off soon, it seems. I wonder who will come back on. Looks to me like it might be Harmony Wolford. Delivered in by Nicole Carmichael. Opia is there! And she almost looked like the Bundesliga logo, getting that under control. Well, with Hogan sitting down, Georgia, that is, you can only imagine that it will be Harmony Wolford to come back on. Has scored 3 in each of the 3 games that she's, well, 1 goal in each of the 3 games that she's played so far, 3 on the bounce. So at least this small sample size indicates that she will get a goal. Eleanor Karaevchi's coming off, and it is in fact the number 18, former Hills United representative, who's coming back on. Birthday shared on Christmas Day. Can she provide a present here in the match of the round? Turning, Krista Hagen. Been good to watch. Romeo. Lovely. Wherefore art thou? Sends it out wide. Carmichael picks it back up. Wolford went for the dainty. Berg, a workhorse in this game. Linda Berg taken off her by Nicole Carmichael. 15 and a bit minutes to go. This will likely see, if the result stays this way, this will see next week's game between Holroyd and Quakers Hill Juniors essentially decide the premiership. Holroyd have a massive goal difference advantage of 20 after their 3-0 forfeit victory today. Ponds forfeiting their game against them. So realistically, Quakers Juniors either need to score a zillion goals or they need to next week beat Holroyd. But first, they must see out and claim all 3 points here at home. It's a massive match of the round. It's been a thoroughly enjoyable match of the round from the first kick of the ball. Carmichael trips over her own feet. Closed down by Freeman, had a solid game, grown into it, has Danielle Freeman. Lovely to find Wolford, and Harmony gives it away. Picked up there by Bronte Parker. Hagen, lovely touch, lovely touch. Ella Wilson doesn't come for this, and she creeps it underneath her. We're at 3-3. Premiership hope still on for the Colts. And she does provide a rather nice present. 4 games for the Colts, 4 goals for the Colts. Instant impact after returning to the game off the bench. Harmony Wolford means that the lead has now changed hands 3 times. 6 goals split 3-3. And we have just inside 14 minutes to find one more, a winner. Tied here at 3-3. Last year this fixture was 2-2. What a game. What a game. But you feel the keeper needed to come out there. The last 2 goals scored, 1 goal by each team, have both come from uncharacteristic goalkeeping errors. Harmony Wolford, who signed on the dotted line and played her first game a day before the June 30 transfer cutoff, scores her 4th in her 4th. What a phenomenal footballing story. Free kick. Little clip was enough. Juniors look a little frustrated, their faces telling the story. Kind of game you never want to end. Isn't that the case? Very, very high line by Colts, considering how far Michaela Cleesby can boot this ball. Got it wrong though, and Romeo stepped in. And now Colts, look at the space for one of the most lethal strikers in the game to run onto. As Anatambi gave it away, but then picked up here by Natalie Rogic. Haven't seen too much of her off the bench just yet. Hasn't come down the left-hand side all too much. Izzy Grek, off she goes. Nestotovic has had a phenomenal game. The Serbian sensation, and then Grek gives it away. Lapse in concentration. Into the car park. Back in play. Opia crashed into Jenna Howe there, and actually Quakers will win the free kick. I should say the throw-in. 11 minutes to go. 11 minutes for either Holroyd to be the happiest team in the land, or for one of these 2 teams right here to keep their realistic premiership dreams alive. One of these two teams needs to win this game, and they both know it, especially these technical areas just below us. Searching ball, looking for Carmichael. Heads it into a dangerous area. Wilson read it. A reminder, if you've just joined us or you're just tuning in, Holroyd have already won their game due to a forfeit. Kellyville Kolts are 1 point behind them. Quakers Hill Juniors are level on points with them. 1 point is the result that Holroyd would desire. 1 point is very much the result that they would desire. Both of these two teams here today realistically need to win. Because if even Quakers Hill Juniors lose today and then they beat Holroyd next week, the goal difference is about 20 in favour of the current league leaders. So they need to at least find a winner. A draw keeps spirits alive, but it's really not the ideal. It's really, really not the ideal. And that's what makes this comp so fun. Out's gone back to Wilson. Oh, well, she's turned herself, Wilson, into a corner. She could have opened up and looked to the right-hand side of her, which was a spot that had two free green jerseys. Miscommunication, but the most recent goal scorer of the day comes away with it. Harmony Wolford. In by Romeo. Perfect ball to Opia, and she missed it. Emma Vanatambi. Grek closing her down. Nestodovic turns away from danger. That danger being Grek. Lovely triangles here by Kolts. This is the passing football that their synthetic pitch allows them to work on so much. Oh, Opia brilliant onto her right foot though. Wolford wants another. Into the hands of a very grateful Ella Wilson. Bang, and away that goes. And Schroeder threatens. And it's won by Brooke Nestodovic. Hagen. She could be someone who provides the final ball. That could lead to a winning goal. Out's gone. Cumbo. Quicker was Opia. But then Cumbo was stronger in the 50-50 tussle. Isabel Grek cuts back. Past one, past Vanatambi, then runs diagonal, and then tried to cut open the defence with a splitting pass. And now Jenna Howe, the right back, out of position. Kevin Opia, and now that right back position is being filled by the Kolts, who spread it across the face of goal. Carmichael will recycle it. Danger signs flashing in green. Free here at the near post. Turning, twisting. Can she fashion an opportunity? Wolford outscored, eventually clears it. Hagen got close to keeping it alive. Romeo taken off her. Here is Tia Berg, full of running still. Out wide and off goes the left back, but she got the ball back far too early. And now Lindeberg has to cover her space. Carmichael, hit and hope. Easy for Wilson. Bang, but there's no Marion Schroeder there to threat. Izzy Grek wasn't ready to read that one. Look how far it's gone. So we are going to get to see 8 minutes of Georgia Hogan, who you might remember was the first goal scorer of the day. She'll come on, I imagine, when the next break in the passage of play is. And Atambi, well done. Carmichael, back to Emma Vanatambi. Oh, lovely roll there away from danger. And again, being urged to just play it quicker. Carmichael, Route 1 clearance. Lindeberg, in came Carmichael. Strong work by Nicole Carmichael. And now here comes the sub. So who comes off? So Steph Romeo comes off after 82 minutes straight on the pitch. And that will probably be the end of her night after a really, really solid performance at both right centre back at times, but predominantly right back. And it is in fact Kellyville Kolts who, again, I'll remind you, 1 point behind their today's opposition and also the league leaders Holroyd heading into this round. Know that they really need to win this one. A draw, especially for the Kolts, not enough today. They're going to try and win this one. The attacking threats are on. Opia. Oh, this is a big chance. Rogic, who had to wait so long to come onto the pitch. Can she open up the juniors' defence? She wins a corner. Desperate times at the back for Quakers juniors. The premiership could be decided in these next 5 minutes or so. There will be rapturous celebrations should one of these two teams find the goal, and especially Kellyville Colts, who are visiting here today, lost to this team earlier in the season, have not been first place at any point of the season because Holroyd and juniors have been pretty perfect all year. A chance to deliver an in-swinging corner. They haven't had many in this second half. It's dangerous towards the back stick. Cleared away initially by Schroeder. Lords Molina is there. Well dealt with by Hagen. And then Hogan delivers it in. Under-hit it though. Outscored. Diag pass on the touchline for Molina. On a weaker left-hand side, she gets it back under control. Cuts back infield. Sends it towards Greg, but way, way overcooked. Katie Thatcher. Opia. Gets it under control herself with a stronger left foot. Finds players forward, and then Hagen got that wrong. Cleesby with a shonked clearance. Berg, her teammate at left back, will be able to recover it. Finding here Molina being closed down by Hagen. Anywhere will do for Tara Schroeder. It's a really good ball in search of her sister. Well dealt with by Bronte Parker there. Cleared again forward. Wolford, lovely touch to Carmichael. Schroeder, she's beaten Tara. Nicole Carmichael, is this it for the Colts? Over Opia. Rogic trying to recover it. She needs her left back Thatcher to come up. She won't find her. It's going to be a throw-in for those in green. They can play Jamie Cumbo quickly, who could turn and run into a acreage of space. Go, Jamie. Off you go. And Nestorovich was always going to get to that ball first. Quakers juniors look like they've resorted to what they were doing in the first 10 minutes or so, which is of this entire match, which was, if you can cast your mind back that far, which was all about survival. They were really under the pump by Colts. Colts have found a second win since their third goal. Juniors are looking a little bit shell-shocked at the moment. The draw mathematically is the better result for them because they could go and beat Holroyd and then go above them next week, but it would make it so close. They really, really want to be even with them and get 3 points here today, but Kellyville looked the most likely. 86 minutes and 20 seconds played. Touched by Hagen. Well read by Cumbo, who goes down. Wolford. Restored Colts point about 10 minutes ago. Lovely touch by Hogan. There's a player down in Cumbo, but again, Colts are under no obligation to stop this game. Now there's a Colts player down. They'll call for the same thing. And with two players down, that's enough for the referee to warrant a drop ball when these two players are attended to. I think the concern for Hogan might actually be a more dire one. She does not look like she's all well. I got a feeling this might take us into 90-odd minutes. There'll be a pretty delayed stoppage here. Colts battered and bruised today. Steph Romeo right now on the bench, having played a real strong part for the first 82 minutes of this game. Currently doing some stretching and icing up. Obviously got a couple of players watching here today off the team sheet because they're injured, but now they've got another Hogan sister who's dealing with what looks to be a right ankle concern. So the stoppage in play will actually help both teams, but I think especially Quakers juniors, who were looking like they were a little bit winded. They're going to get a chance to get their breath back. Getting colder around these parts here too. This is the end of the night. Well, this or the afternoon, unfortunately, for Georgia Hogan. So opened the game with a brilliant near post finish. That right angle has gone kaput. That challenge, 50-50, she came out of it wrong. Jamie Cumbo is going to take some time off the field as well. Maddie Phillips will finish off the game. Unfortunate to see Jamie Cumbo and Hogan, both who actually just came back onto the pitch no more than 5 minutes ago, now be forced off. Hopefully it's the cork for the former. Hopefully it's just a bump that hurt a lot for the latter, and both will be okay next week. Well, by the way, we're back in place and not as big of a stoppage as we thought. Well, I thought at least. Molina. Well done there by Nicole Carmichael. Capable at right back as well, as we've learnt tonight. Izzy Grek. Don't want to get her 1v1. Tried to side her down there. I reckon that was enough to warrant a yellow card, that one. She apologises to Nestorovich. In fact, that might have been Bronte Parker, forgive me. So you might be able to hear below us, Colts are just urging as they set up for this free kick, which will be taken by Michaela Clisby of Quakers Juniors, that they need to have someone prepared to sweep whatever is a looping, bouncing ball that might be coming. Clisby's very capable of hitting this one quite deep. If she hits it and connects with it well, which she does, it looks like a bit of a direct striker goal, and either way it's pulled wide. So we're into now the 89th minute. Pretty much anything from this point onward is going to be down to the discretion of the referee. A reminder as well to those just tuning in. The result technically better for the home side Quakers Juniors. For Colts, it's a bit more of a dire result for them. They really needed to get 3 points out of this one. Holroyd at the end of the day will be the happiest of these two teams draw. Much, much happier. And we know, of course, that they're watching right now. Will there be a winner in this one? Will there be a winner in this one? How much time is the referee, Thomas Roos-Davis, willing to add on here? A Marion Schroeder hat-trick defined the day so far for Quakers Hill Juniors. Georgia Hogan, Brooke Nestodovic, and of course most recently in this second half, a goal to Harmony Wolford. Carmichael being closed down by Molina. One back here by the left back of Quakers, Tia Berg. Back to Molina, and Schroeder will make the offside flag. That was it. You feel that might have been it. Unless Quakers, or unless Kellyville can quickly set up and absolutely launch something forward quick, like with real haste. The referee's looking at his watch. This might be it, and that might have been it. A kick of the ball to come. Whistle to the lips, so on we go. This might be it for the Colts. Berg steps in well. Nutmegs Val there. On goes Molina. Well, one back there, no foul. Schroeder did well in the challenge. Both these two sets of coaches urging their teams to just get it forward quickly. Throwing it will be for Quakers Juniors. In fact, for Colts, forgive me. This is it. Harmony Wolford got that pass seemingly a little bit wrong, but Opie is so quick that she recovers it well. Rogic is there, trying to shimmy her way out of danger. Bit of a nothing pass inside though. Now she goes down, looking injured. Play still going on though. Clisby, Opie was in strong into touch again. Throwing it will be very deep for Quakers Juniors. If Colts want to get 3 points here, they've got to box their opposition in. Find a second wind very late. Anything being played now is at the discretion of the referee. We're in to add it on time. Firmly into it, in fact. Howe kicks it up and away. Grech is there. Tied 3-3 here at Quakers Park. Back behind and into Colts' defensive half. Oh, and this could be it. It's a 2v3. Grech and Schroeder up for Quakers. Bronte Parker barged off in the 50-50, then recovered well. And now here come Colts. Thatcher, forward. Rogic met Howe. Colts ball. In fact, forgive me, Quakers ball. Grech, second bite of the cherry and out of time. Schroeder in the mixer. Molina at the back stick. One off her, Hagen. Sent forward. Pass Freeman. Chance. Wolford in behind. Searching for Opia, who gets the first touch. Gets the second touch. Past her oppressor. And Wilson will claim. They did get another chance, and Opia nearly did it herself. 3 minutes past the 90. How much longer have we got? Schroeder now threatening. Carmichael read well. Schroeder trying everything she can. Wolford, that'll fall to her. Colts have the final chance. Cutting inside Wolford. Cleared away, outscored. Gee, she's been in the wars tonight, Leah Outscorn. And that is it. What a match of football. We said at the start of the match that the neutrals result would be a draw, because it means that next week's game is so important. Now it means that Quakers Juniors really have to beat Holroyd next week. What an enthralling match of football. It means now that Holroyd have gone ahead by 2 points. Quakers behind them by 2 points. And now 1 point behind them still is Kellyville Colts. A hat-trick, and the match ball goes to Marion Schroeder. Picked up her 25th, 26th, and 27th goal of an incredible individual season. But of course, you can't forget the fact that Georgia Hogan picked up the opening goal of the day, and then right on halftime to bring this game back in balance and really shoot Kellyville into a good bit of momentum. It was Brooke Nesotovic who was arguably the player of the match, even though a Quakers junior player got a hat-trick. And then to restore parity again, it was, of course, Harmony Woolford. Thank you so much for everyone who tuned in on this Sunday afternoon that has now become the evening. What an incredible game of football we've laid witness to here this afternoon. It has been absolutely phenomenal. Congratulations and thank you genuinely to both teams for giving us a wonderful footballing spectacle. My name is Mark DePoli. Remember to leave a like on the stream. Come and support the Women's Premier League next Sunday in the match of the round. But until then, 3-3, and the winners today are Holroyd.